Righty. So I got his history here too. Um, did you look at the history, or do you need me to just run through it real quick?
I took a quick look at it. You can go through though.
Righty. So just to clarify real quick, so Jason was admitted to Oceanside Hospital today, in relation to Section 18 of the Mental Health Act. He was held after admitting that he attempted to commit suicide through excessive alcohol intake. And he has tried previously with razors and glass, none of which were successful. Just some history on him. Basically, he was admitted to Oceanside Hospital for a drug overdose in late March 2025. After being released from the hospital, he was subsequently charged by Sergeant Wilson from Targeted Action Group in relation to a couple stealing offences earlier in April. The charge was the field court attendance notice, and he was released on his way. Um, However, like on the brief that we got on the way here, they Sergeant Holden and Wilson from Los Santos Police Area Command have identified that they were on a file with him from a check bona files, which he made a couple allegations towards historic child abuse in relation to being kicked out of home, having cigarette burns on him, being beaten, and a couple of various other things as well.
Okay. It's not present, right? It's not like
No,
ongoing.
historic.
Okay. Alright.
So, I guess we'll come here. We'll just have a bit of an interview with him and see what we have. Does that sound good to you?
I looked over the I looked over the CAD file a bit more when
Yeah.
you called me, but I didn't really look over the history.
All right, let's go. Never a slow day.
Nope. Not every day you get like a story.
Yeah. All right. You
Was he
wanna?
talkative to the sergeant?
They said that he was talkative with them and he was a bit abrasive for other people, so
Yeah.
we've got that up for us. I left. We've left our weapons in the car. You've left yours there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Do you have body worn on you? Or,
I don't have body one. No. You're gonna do the electronic recording, weren't you?
yeah. Yeah.
All
I'm sure it's not
right. They said he's in room 204.
All right.
You leave it up to the hospital too, not to have any other rooms available except his room.
Yeah.
I love it.
You couldn't take him to the nice hospital where they like give us a whole room. No.
Oh well. Do you want to be primary on this, or do you want me to be primary?
It's up to you.
I'm happy with whatever. Upstairs, mate.
It's upstairs. Okay. You feel like you're there. I guess I can take primary.
I mean, if you want to, or you can record and just scribble down the notes.
Yeah, I'll take primary.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can do the note taking.
Might pull rank on you.
If you want to pull rank, you'd also be doing note taking. You seem to do paperwork more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Only room available is up here.
Can you just get a hold of yourself? Alright.
No. We had an elevator we could have taken. You realize that?
And yeah, we're walking.
Yeah.
Alright. We're here. Okay.
Alright. Do you want to go in?
Yep. Oh.
There you go.
Hey Jason, how are you today? You want to just get the nurse out of here?
Yeah. I mean, you can just if you just want to sit outside. We're just gonna talk to him for a few minutes. All right. We'll let you know if we need you. Thank you.
Hey, Jason, how are you today?
It could be better.
That's good. Just to let you know, okay, I'm Detective Sergeant Breda, and this is Detective Senior Trooper Martin, okay, with the Child Abuse Sex Crime Squad. All right, we're just here to talk to you today in relation to some things you said earlier to some troopers.
Where are they?
They're currently doing some paperwork, I believe.
I don't want to talk to anybody about them.
Would you mind just crawling out of the bed a little bit for me? Just so we can see your face?
Can I go sit in that chair?
Oh, yeah, if you want to sit in the chair, that's perfectly fine.
Hey, Jason. I'm just gonna set wherever you decide. Just letting you know, I'm just gonna set the camera down just so it can record this conversation for us. Okay. It's gonna be recording your actions and just the conversation in general. Okay. It's just like the the body camera that uh the other troopers had when you were taken here. It's just like that. It's just gonna be set on the tray. Okay.
Okay.
So that'll just be referred to as an electronic recorded interview today. Alright. So do you want to move to the chair or do you want to stay in the bed? Yeah, alright.
I'll go to the chair.
Sounds good. Also, here's my identification if you just want to have a look at that, just so you can see.
Here's mine if you want to take a look.
Yeah, there you go. Just who we are.
You want to speak up a bit for me, Jason? Just having some trouble hearing you. All right. Okay, Jason. So as the sergeant said, my name is Detective Senior Trooper Martin. Okay, I just want to ask you a few questions.
Before you get started, let's establish the timeline here
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah.
Just so everyone's aware real quick, okay, the current time is 02:59 hours Zulu Standard. The current date is Saturday the 19th of April 2025. Alright, with Detective Sergeant Breda and Detective Senior Trooper Martin. And Jason, do you just want to say your name?
Jason Temple.
And we're at Oceanside Hospital conducting
Dude,
electronic...
Sergeant,
just conducting electronic recorded interview.
Jason, I'm just gonna really quickly get a water. Would you like anything to drink?
No.
All right.
Alright.
I'll bring something just in case. Okay. And if you need anything else, just let us know.
How have you been going today, Jason?
What?
How have you been going today?
Horrible. Where's the other two? I don't want to talk to anybody about them.
Yeah, I understand that, mate. Currently, like I said, they're doing some paperwork in relation to what's going on here today. They've given us some information and some insight. So we'll be able to help you out and sort of go through from there. I can arrange for them to come speak to you though, after they've completed the paperwork. Is that something you'd like?
I guess we'll wait for the paperwork to be done before I talk.
Okay, well, the issue is we're here to talk to you in relation to some of the stuff you said. I understand that it's confronting to talk to other people about that, but we're here to facilitate that in a way that's going to be healthy for you and others.
I don't trust you, so I'm not going to talk to you.
That's okay. Is there anything we can do to establish that trust?
No, I don't trust you.
Just so you're aware
Here-
too, okay? I'll
Here
be
you go.
recording some details here whilst we both speak with you, but my colleague's going to be predominantly sort of asking you some questions here today, okay?
Well, like I just said, I don't want to talk to you guys. I want to talk to the other two.
Okay. Alrighty. So, I understand that you don't really want to speak to us here today, but you did make some allegations. Oh, 1 second. Hey partner, do you want to come on this side? I think you're in the view of the body one. Just waiting to make sure that my partner's all good. Sorry, Jason. Sometimes he
Okay,
wears.
Jace.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
So-
Go ahead.
Okay. As I was saying, Jason, correction. I understand you don't really trust us right now, and you say that you don't want to speak to us. That's okay. But you did make some allegations earlier today when you were speaking to two troopers in regards to some things that occurred to you when you were a child.
I did, but like I said, I only want to talk to them, not you guys, because I only trust them. I don't trust anyone else.
Okay. We did speak to Sergeant Wilson on the way here, and he's kind of briefed us about what's going on. But we do want to speak to you a bit more in depth about that so we can see how we can best help you.
Well, what did they tell you?
Well, they said to us that you've had a bit of a history with self-harm, that you've tried that previously, and that it was unsuccessful. Today that you tried to kill yourself by drinking an excessive amount of alcohol, and if that didn't work, you were going to try an OD on fentanyl. That's when they said that they detained you under the Mental Health Act and brought you here. They said that you've slept rough for the last couple of years since your 18th, that you were kicked out of the house. They said that you last night you slept in an alleyway, and then they found you at the beach. We got a bit of a history on you here. We found out that you've had some interactions with the police, that you were admitted to the hospital for an overdose, a suspected fentanyl overdose, back in late March 2025. After being released from that, you were also charged by Sergeant Wilson in regards to a stealing offence in earlier April 2025. So we know some things. Obviously, we're here to talk to you today so that we can get some things on the record and sort of start helping you out. There are obviously...
In what way is this going to help me?
Well, there's different programs here that are able to be, provided to you. Obviously,
Like I told them, I don't trust any of the fucking programs.
I understand. They did tell me that. I understand that you may not want them. That's perfectly fine. We can work around that. But we can also sort of start processes now of maybe looking into the matters that occurred back when you were a child and see if there's any grounds for us to investigate those matters.
I don't want to go back to that place. I don't.
No, I understand.
No, you don't understand.
I,
Don't just fucking say that to make me feel better.
I'm not saying to make you feel better.
You either say, okay, I don't understand, or just don't fucking say anything. You don't even know what happened.
Okay. I I understand trauma though, and I understand not wanting to go back and relive that trauma. So we're willing to make adjustments here, so that way we can better talk to you, better hear your story, hear your version of events, so that we can help you navigate proceeding forward from there.
Here, I don't. Kind of bouncing off of what my partner said. I don't even want to go start back that far. I just kind of want to talk about kind of what led us to this point today. Can we start with that?
Well, we would have to talk about my past, and I'm not talking about my past.
Okay. Could you tell us a bit more about the interaction with Sergeant Wilson
And
Which
Sergeant
one?
Holden.
and Sergeant Holden?
Which one?
The one today, just the one from today. Kind of what you know, just kind of what they talked about with you. Just so we can understand where they're coming from, because we know that they called it they called it sorry, we know that they called us here to speak to you, and like we understand what they were telling us, like, you know, the you had a bit of a rough past, especially in childhood. You were kicked out at 18, like we understand that, but they didn't give us all the details, right? So we just kind of want to, we at least want to figure out what got them to call us, right?
Well, I was at the beach after stealing some alcohol.
Okay.
Just so you're aware
And
too, we're not mad. We don't care about any offenses
Yes.
you may have committed. Okay.
We aren't here to incriminate you in any way. We're just trying to get the facts and try and figure out why we were called here and what led us to this point. Okay. So this interview is purely information based.
well, I was at the beach, and I took one shooter after another, after another, after another, until I got to the last one, where I left it a quarter full. I think I don't know, and then I kind of blacked out for 5 to 10 minutes, maybe.
Okay. So you were in a pretty dark spot today.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How
As
do
I
you feel
told
that?
them, I hoped today was the last.
All right. Do you still feel that way?
Yes.
You do. Okay.
I don't
Is it
want to
just
be in this
because of?
hospital. I don't want to be here. I
Okay.
I don't fucking like it here.
I get that. I don't enjoy the hospitals either. So I mean, I get that. I was in and out of hospitals a lot when I was younger, but so I've kind of learned not to like them either.
Jason, do you have a name you'd like us to call you by,
Yeah.
or a nickname, anything like that, mate?
I don't care.
Sorry,
I'm ashamed of my. No, I don't care. I'm ashamed of my real name, anyways.
it's okay.
Okay.
We're just clarifying because some people like to be called a different thing here
Yep.
and there. Have you ever heard of the
I
traffic
was
light
never
system?
called by my name growing up, so
What were you called?
wouldn't it
It. Okay.
Just out of
them?
interest, I know you said um you don't like your real name. What made you choose Jason? Like what made you want to
I
go by
didn't.
Jason? You didn't.
It's my legal name, for
Okay.
as far as I know.
All
That's
right.
at least what I was told.
So Jason, have you ever heard of the traffic light system before?
No.
Okay. So similar to how a traffic light works, okay, so like red being stop immediately, yellow means like slow down, right? Or like come to a gradual halt, and then green's being okay. Alright, like you're good to go. Throughout our conversation here today, I want to sort of implement that sort of a system for anything that you may not want to speak to about right now. Okay? Alright, you can sort of indicate to us where you're feeling, like red light, green light, yellow light, orange, like whatever you wish to call it. That way we can help you, but we don't have to delve into stuff that's too dark right now. Does that make sense? Because we can always circle back around to those things at a little bit of a later time in the interview if that's more helpful to you. Okay?
Or even at a later date if needed.
I just don't want to talk about it here. Yeah, I don't like it here.
No, we understand. However, right now we don't have any authority to take you from the mental health ward.
Yeah.
So, obviously, as we speak here today, if there's history that we're able to if there's history we're able to identify that is criminal in nature, then maybe we can advocate for you to be taken into a different set of custody. But this is the best place that can care for you right now.
Yeah. And everything
they're
that's
not
said
going
in
to hear
here,
anything from me, so
listen, everything that's said in here just stays between us three, okay? That camera over there is just for record keeping sake, okay? Nobody's gonna see that. Like we don't share that openly. I asked the nurse that was with you. She's at the nurse's station. You know, everybody needs to knock before they come. While we're here and having this conversation, anybody who wants to enter those doors needs to knock, and they need to have a valid reason. Okay. Conversation ends when somebody comes in. It'll resume when they leave. Anything you say here is gonna stay between us. Okay.
that doesn't help. I don't want to fucking be in this hospital.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, here, how does this
Is-
sound? If you talk to us for a little bit here, we can take you for we'll walk out into like the garden area for a bit before we leave. How does that sound?
I don't want to talk about it in public.
No, we
Don't
won't talk
wanna
about it in
talk
public out
about it
there. We'll just
anywhere.
we'll just go for a walk.
Yeah. We can, if you want to talk about something like, you know, during the walk,
Stop
if
by
you
the
wanna talk
cafeteria, even.
about stuff, you know, it doesn't have to be that. Just talk about your day and stuff. Talk about whatever.
There is a pretty
What,
cool
the
view.
fucking past shitty days I've had since I got kicked out?
There is a nice view over here actually from the ocean.
Yeah.
But we can stop by the cafeteria, grab something to eat, and then go from there if you want.
Get you
No.
out of this room for a bit.
What's gonna get me out of this room? For
At this
good.
point, it's just like my sergeant said, if you can get us something that can
We-
help us. Sorry,
We
go ahead.
can't tell you 100% how to get out of this room.
Yeah.
That's between you and your social worker. Okay.
We can try and advocate, you know, to get you into another spot if we hear information that warrants it. But other than that, there's really right now it's like my sergeant said, it's tied between you and your social worker. It's cut and dry when it comes to this stuff, and that's just because it has to do with your safety, right? We want to make sure that you're safe, and I know it's not the best thing to hear, but right now we believe at least this is the safest place for you. I know you might not think it, but you know, in reality, there's a lot of people here who want to help you and who are trying to help you. So there's no clear answer as to what can get you out of here faster or anything. I know that's not the answer you wanted to hear, but
Well, here. Would you what do you like doing then?
I don't. What do you mean?
Do you like
Do your free time.
drawing,
I,
Like-
I
walking?
kind of fucking cruel to ask.
well, you were at the beach. Do you enjoy going to the beach? Like, have you gone there a lot?
No, it's a fucking shithole.
Yeah,
All right.
that's fair.
It's
No one
full of
likes-
fucking stuck up pile of shit fucking tourists.
Yeah, sometimes it is a bit busy,
Yeah,
isn't
those
it?
tourists do get annoying.
What about besides that then? What are you like getting up to?
I don't have it. Is what, doing drugs? It's about the only fucking hobby I have.
Okay, well, what sort of drugs did you start on?
Cocaine and then heroin and then worked my way to fentanyl
Okay, so that was a pretty
rapidly.
That's a pretty big jump. When did you start doing cocaine?
When I was 15.
Yeah, where'd you get where'd you first get the cocaine from?
Can't tell you that one.
All right. Were you
Okay.
were you introduced to it by someone, or did you just kind of discover it on your own and
Parents.
start it? Your parents? Did they give it to you?
It was theirs, and I took it.
Okay.
So,
Did they do any? Did they introduce you to anything else? Did they introduce you to like the heroin or anything, or was that
but
all your
before
own?
you jump to that,
All me.
you say that
Okay.
they introduced you to it. Did you? And you said you took it. Do you mean that they gave it to you, or did you like steal
I
it?
stole.
Okay,
That.
yeah.
Okay.
Did you do it with just yourself, or did you take it with some friends? Like,
I didn't have any friends.
okay,
Did your
I wasn't
parents ever?
allowed to have any friends. I wasn't allowed to leave the house unless
Yeah.
it was to school.
did you enjoy
Where'd you
Shit,
go to
I
school at?
never even fucking went to school.
You never went to school.
They didn't let me.
Okay.
Which do you remember where you were enrolled at, or?
I lived in Mirror Park. That's all I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know if you were in, you don't, so you don't know if you were ever enrolled in school or anything.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
So you say that
Um,
you stole it from your parents. How often did they use cocaine?
I wouldn't know.
Okay, so it was just like it was just a normal thing in the house then. So it wasn't like an odd thing.
I was locked in my room anytime I was home.
Okay. When you say locked, do
was
you mean that the door was locked?
Locked.
Locked?
Locked.
were
Okay.
you? How were you fed and all? Did they like? Did they feed you? Well, I guess yeah. Did they feed you?
Rarely.
Rarely. Okay. And was it actual meals? Was it like scraps?
Whatever they had from the last night, and it usually wasn't much.
Okay. And when you say, I know you said you were locked in your room. Um, what was your room like? Was that? Could you control the environment? Like
A
keep it how
mattress
you?
on the floor
Okay.
and blackout curtains.
Sorry. What was that?
And blackout curtains.
Okay.
Okay.
Could you
Oh, go on, pardon.
could you look out the window or was that?
No, it faced the backyard.
Okay. Okay.
Was it a big backyard or a small one?
Small.
Okay. Was there like could you see anything from the house that you remember?
A hill.
Like like going up or going down?
I think it was up.
Okay.
And a fence, I think.
Do you remember
Were
what
they always?
sorry, real quick. Do you remember what type of fence it was or
No.
Was there a certain point when like this started getting worse? Like, were you let out of your room before, and then at one point they just kind of kept you in there, or was it always since you can remember?
I did anything to piss him off. I was stuck in the room. Which,
Okay.
well, I
What was
breathed
there?
wrong.
So-
I said I was
sorry,
stuck
just
in my room.
just to clarify here. So you said that you were always locked in your room. When you said that if you did anything to piss them off, was that like in the room? Like you just got kind of locked in there for longer periods, or like if you were out in the house or something of that nature?
I really don't remember.
Okay.
Okay.
It's all
That's fine.
hazy.
Do you remember what their relationship was like between them? Were they in a good
They were a
relationship or was it
perfect couple. I
perfect?
never heard an argument or anything out of them.
Okay. Now, I know you'd mentioned that you got the cocaine from them, or like from the house. So you obviously weren't allowed out of your room, but you were able to get out. Like, how'd that
Whenever I
kind of
heard the door shut, I used to time in my head when I would hear the front door shut and I would hear the front door open, and that's when I would get out of my room.
Okay. And did you
Could
ever go outside?
could you describe to us how you got out of your room?
The window.
So you were like jumped out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
Were
was
you
So it was the
were you on the
first floor,
first
It
or
was a
second floor?
second.
second floor.
Second?
Did
Okay.
you
And did ever
when you jumped off the roof? How did you get off the roof?
I would just jump into the bushes and hope for the fucking best, or usually hope for the worst, so I wouldn't have to deal with it anymore.
Okay, so just to clarify, when you jumped out, was there like a bit of roof below like your window, or was it straight out of the window, straight into the bushes?
Just straight down.
Did anybody ever notice you doing this?
Not that I know of. Our
Okay, and was
backyard
this-
was pretty far back.
Okay. Was it late at night or was it early in the morning? Usually.
I think it was at night.
Okay.
It's when it's dark, I think.
Okay. And how far out of the house would you venture?
As far as I could until I would start seeing the sun come up, and I would try and get back home as quick as possible.
Okay.
Except for the one time I didn't get home in time.
What happened then?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. That's fine.
So I do want to talk about that, for, not that part specifically, but just leading up to that. You mentioned going out just to go out, and then you said that you would like get back because there was like a time. What sort of a timeline were you dealing with? Like, was it them both going out for a period of time, or were they coming back? Like, what? Could you describe that a bit more to me?
What do you mean?
Well, so you spoke about you hear them leave, right? And then
Yeah.
you would leave the house, like you time it. But then,
How'd you know when to come back?
yeah,
Pretty much. Like, what was your
Well-
cue to come back?
When I was timing it for the week or two I did and hoped I was correct, I would time their patterns that they would leave, and it would always be at night. I didn't know what time it was or anything.
so
And
Did you?
just by a second partner, so continue on, sir.
and I would look out the window and just look at the moon or the sun, and once I would hear the door shut, usually the sun was up. Or, well, open again and then shut. Would be when the sun is up, and that's when I would know to come home, is when I would start seeing the sun crest over the
So, like you'd see it
Oh,
crest over the
oh.
hill. Is that all the mountain?
yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Did
And
they
then-
work? Do you know
Oh.
if they worked?
I don't know.
Okay.
So, when they would lock you in, right? Obviously, they'd lock your door. Was that like just a door lock, or was it like an external lock from that?
I don't know what you are talking
Like-
about.
So, you know how you said they'd lock you in your room?
Yeah.
So, you know how like this door over here, how it can be locked from the outside? Okay. Was it like
Yeah.
that sort of a lock, or was it like a bit of like a bigger lock than just like the door itself?
Yeah, outside.
Okay. So it wasn't like a padlock out there or anything like that, to your knowledge.
Not that I knew.
Okay. And then how would you get back into the house?
I think the window on the bottom floor in the big room.
Okay. Did
So
you?
just to clarify here while I write this down, sorry partner. So you said
You're good.
the bottom floor window through with the big room, was that the front or the back of the house, or like the side?
The back. I knew it was the back because right below my window.
Okay. During these times, because you said it was a 2-week period when you did this, was that the only time you did that?
No, I would do it whenever I would stay home.
Okay. Did you ever contemplate just not coming back?
No, because I was scared they would find me and do worse
Okay.
than what they do.
Now, you said when you would stay home. When you wouldn't stay home, where would you go? Did they take you somewhere, or?
Like when they would make me leave,
Yeah.
it was only to see like other people,
Okay. And would they?
other really bad people.
Okay. How would they act around those people in regards to you? Would they treat you? Would they
I don't
treat
want
you
to
any
talk
different?
about those people.
Okay, that's fine. We don't need to talk about them.
So I do have some clarifying questions again, just based off what you've been speaking with Martin about here. So, can you tell me? You say that they do things to you. Would you mind just sort of giving me? You don't have to go into detail. Just give me a summary of what they would do.
I can't. I can't.
All right.
I understand.
Okay, no problem.
Would
Listen,
it be easier to write it?
I don't know how to write.
Okay, it's okay. Um, well, you're doing really well. Okay,
Yeah.
you're doing really well. Like you're giving us a lot of things here that we can sort of start an inquiry, right? But we do want
I
to.
mean, yeah, and like this isn't easy stuff to talk about. You are doing really well. Like it's hard to live through it and then have to relive through it to talk about somebody else. So you're doing a lot better than most people, okay?
So let me ask you this then: the bad things, would that typically come from mum or dad?
Both.
So like they were equally bad at it together.
Yes.
Okay.
And when you say
Was-
bad things,
Just before we get to that, was one more physical than the other?
Yes.
Which one was more physical?
Mom.
Okay. And was that physicalness like just her hands, or was that like objects too?
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
now I know the Sergeant Wilson, when we were getting brief from him, he mentioned that you mentioned about being like beat and getting cigarette burns. Did they ever do more than that? Like, was it anything beyond physical? Did it ever turn frankly, did it ever turn sexual in any way or anything like that? Hey, yeah, you can calm down. You don't need to listen. You don't need to answer that if you don't want to.
It's okay, Jason.
Yeah. We can back up, okay?
Look, why don't we just take a couple steps back then? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll re-come around to that topic here in a minute. But you say that you used to walk around. Did you go down to the pond at Mirror Park, or did you kind of go more into town?
I don't want to talk anymore. I don't fucking want to
Okay,
talk
okay,
anymore.
okay.
So good.
Do you want anything to drink?
No. Okay. What we'll do is, alright, we can conclude here for a little bit, and then
Yep,
we
we'll take a
can
little break.
come back to it here in a minute. How's that sound? Okay.
Alright.
Well,
Here, we can take a break, okay? We'll give you a minute.
let me just look at the watch here real quick, and I'll just tell us what time it is so we can conclude this. Alright, so the
Yep,
current time is
turn the camera off.
03:30 hours of Standard. The current date is Saturday the 19th of 2025, of April 2025. Alright, so just want to stop that recording, partner. What we'll do is we'll go notify them that we're gonna leave you alone for a couple of minutes, and then we'll come back to you. Okay? Do you want us to get you anything in the meantime? Hey, you want
Eh,
you want to go get the nurses?
Yeah.
Alright. Hey, you want to give me a hand, Jason? Just your hand. I know that it's really stressful right now. Just give me a hand and I can just hold it. That way you don't have to talk. You can just squeeze my hand if you are listening to what I'm saying.
Alright, hey, they're on their way.
Okay. Alright. We're just going to give you some time with these people, Jason. Alright, we're just going to be outside. And we'll talk to you once they've finished speaking with you for a bit. Alright. Just give us some time.
Yeah. We got further than I thought we would.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone to the sexual assault part the way you did there.
Yeah,
That was too much.
that was. He was calm though. That's why I just kind of.
Yeah, no, you should have. This is why you follow the protocols that are in place, son. Senior trooper. Anyway, no, it's all good. I mean, we've got some information to work with
Yeah.
with elements of an offense. I'd say we should open up an inquiry here.
Absolutely.
No. Yeah, I wanted to clarify with them, but we'll clarify with the doctors because they would have done some sort of an examination on him already from when he OD'd. There should be something in regards to those cigarette burns and stuff. So, what we might do is we can stop by the nurse's station and we can get those details. What do you think?
Yeah. Give him a few. We'll see what they say with him.
Well, I think they're going to probably tell us no more interview. Yeah, nah, I'm going to say we should probably cease the interview for now. And we'll start it again tomorrow. Come by tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's this door, so yeah.
Goddamn way we come in. I'm
Nah.
taking the elevator.
Okay. Alright. Well, we can conclude here then. And we'll go from there. How's that sound, partner? You like the sound of that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, alright. Just gonna put some details on the back here.